What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I am back with my FanDuel single game breakdown for Wednesday afternoon's football between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. This one's a weird one. And be sure to hit that like button, it'll help out a ton. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. And follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman so you can get updates to these sim results as we get closer to lock. I'll be on our live before lock show today at 2:10 Eastern time. These times are just ridiculous. Kickoff is at 3:40. We'll be going on a half hour before our live before lock show, so come tune into that so you can see our final updates. Let's go over the high level stuff. Average fantasy points in the winning lineup, 85.6. The median salary used, $59,000. This one's where it gets really crazy. 3.3 Steelers, 1.7 Baltimore Ravens in the optimal lineup. Steelers are 10.5 point favorites with a 42.5 point game total. This one is just, it's really different. So many people are out because of COVID. It's going to be a very different mechanism clear across the board. I'm excited to dive in. Let's start with the MVPs. So this one should be kind of a no-brainer. The number one option at MVP today is certainly Ben Roethlisberger. Shows up in the optimal in the sim 36% of the time. He's 16K, but he is without question the guy that's going to have the highest projection for this slate. He's going to have a ton of ownership. It's all going to make sense. Ben Roethlisberger is clearly the guy that is most frequently the MVP. RG3, yes, RG3 starting for Lamar Jackson today, 14,500. Shows up in the optimal 20% of the time in the MVP spot, so that's second most. You know, I'm not surprised by that. He's the quarterback. They should have high totals. It's just really weird to see RG3 there. So Roethlisberger, RG3, they make up about 56% of the odds of being in the MVP spot. You're going to be going there more often than not. After that, you want to take a step back. Deontay Johnson at 10%. Claypool, Benny Snell, Juju Smith-Schuster, all about 7%. Marquise Brown is around 5%. Chris Boswell, oddly enough, is at 5%. Who knows how many field goals are going to be in this one? So if you're looking for just straight recommendations, it starts at the top with Roethlisberger. RG3 comes in second. Deontay Johnson, the third best MVP play. 13,500 for Deontay Johnson, 10.8 fantasy points. Now, when we go to the flex side, that's where things start to get really weird. The most frequent flex option is Benny Snell. So no James Conner. Benny Snell, 11K, projected for 10.9 fantasy points. Shows up in the optimal lineup 44% of the time. That is the most of anybody. He works regardless of your lineup construction. After that, you're jumping back up to the top to RG3, 14,500, shows up in the optimal 42% of the time. Then you can get yourself some Roethlisberger, but this feels a lot like it did for Monday's slate, where Russell Wilson was so expensive that you don't see him as frequently in the flex spot. It's just hard to make that salary work. I think that happens again. I expect Ben Roethlisberger to be over-owned in the flex spot. I would just rather have him in the MVP, or for the most part, not at all. Now, after Roethlisberger, the next most frequent option at flex is Chris Boswell. You don't normally see kickers ranking this high, but I think today is a different story. 8,500 for Boswell, shows up in the optimal 35% of the time. Justin Tucker is $1,000 more expensive, so he is significantly less frequent than Boswell. After that, you start to mix in some of these high 20s, low 30s guys. Deontay Johnson at 32, Chase Claypool at 32, Juju at 29%, Marquise Brown at 27%. If you want to save a little bit of salary, Anthony McFarland at 7,500 shows up in the optimal 22% of the time. I don't see a ton of options in the paydown, but it seems like they're more likely to happen. And we have a couple guys that just sort of show up in the 4 to 10% range, whether that's Dez Bryant at 10%, James Washington, Luke Wilson, backup tight end at 6K, shows up in the optimal 4% of the time. I have a hard time recommending any one of those guys on FanDuel. We'll see a little bit differently on DraftKings. Look around for that link, by the way. So my main floor is probably Anthony McFarland at 7,500. I don't really see the need to go too much lower than that, but don't be surprised to see some wacky touchdowns today. We're We have so many dudes out with COVID that it feels like scoring could be a little random. Now, if we're talking about fades, there are a few guys that just stand out as guys I'm not interested in. Gus Edwards or Mark Ingram in the MVP spot, not showing up all that frequently. Not a huge fan of either one of those guys in the flex either. J.K. Dobbins as well, not a guy that I'm interested in, although for some strange reason now I'm picturing J.K. Dobbins being out and I shouldn't have him in for the projection. Doesn't really change anything. It's neither here nor there. I don't have updated ownership right now, so I can't give the full fades. That's what you're going to be looking for on my Twitter account, at Josh Engleman. I'll post those updates probably around 2 o'clock when I'm about to go live, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. That is my FanDuel single game breakdown for Steelers and Ravens. Lovely Wednesday afternoon football. One last time, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. I probably have to re-record this, but we shall see. You never know. It's 7:11 a.m. on Wednesday. I'm just waiting to open up Twitter to find out that like 4 more guys are already out. I hope it doesn't happen, but I'll have the updates for you. Good luck today. Good luck this afternoon. I'll be back again for Friday's top 5 videos.